It's a big story of the day. Reaction to the independent panel report on the Phala Phala farm theft. We speak now to Ahmed Kathrada Foundation's Executive Director, Neeshan Balton. Good day to you. Thank you so much for joining us, Neeshan. A tweet this morning coming in saying, Helen Suzman Foundation, quiet. Ahmed Kathrada Foundation, quiet. Freedom Under Law, quiet. Mbazi Mashiloa, quiet. Tulima Donzela, quiet. Richard Cannon, still defending Cyril Ramaphosa, and Outer, quiet. And Gulam, quiet. Is this a true reflection of what's happening, the status in terms of civic society out there?
No, I can't speak for general civil society. But I would assume that most people wouldn't just rush into making comments without having read the report and without having time to have deliberated on it. And we've done that both in the foundation as well as in the Defend Our Democracy movement that we are part of. And there is a statement that's come out from Defend Our Democracy, I think a few minutes ago, with which the foundation fully associates with. In essence, what that statement is saying is that we welcome the release of this report. We think that the process of setting up this panel is an important step in constitutional accountability. And therefore, I think its work is of extreme importance, irrespective of where the process might go, both politically, constitutionally. We think that we must acknowledge that the coming into being of this panel and the likely impeachment processes here are important steps that builds on the weaknesses of Parliament, which was severely exposed during the era of state capture. And hopefully these mechanisms will increase Parliament's accountability work over the executive. So we welcome it in that context.
You speak about the political and the constitutional imperatives, and the report states clearly that the president is a constitutional being, and the imperatives they are very binding. Is it a clear call that the president now has to act in a certain way?
No, it's not up to the president to act. It's up to Parliament to now do what it has to be done. The report must go to Parliament. Parliament must deliberate on it and set up the necessary committees if it gets the 50% support. And it would be for the impeachment committee to then do the work to probe, the issues in greater detail. What the panel's report simply concluded was that there are a number of issues that the president may have to account for. And it's now up to Parliament and the impeachment committee to probe those issues further, as well as remember there are other institutions within the state who are also dealing with this. And our hope is that there will be some way in which all these various probes coalesce with the parliamentary process so that all of the facts are brought to the table. And we certainly hope that if it goes this way, and if the president doesn't resign, that he will participate and cooperate fully with the parliamentary process.
Your organization has a history of having an anti-corruption stance. What is your position, your specific position about this current president and his leadership of the country?
We think there are a number of good things that have emanated from the Ramaphosa presidency to date, and in terms of strengthening specifically those institutions of government that have a responsibility to tackle corruption, which is why I think we are both elated with the work of the panel, but also dismayed around all of the allegations that have been made. And we think that those have to be probed to come to the bottom of the issues. But also, I think we celebrate the fact that through this process, we are actually strengthening Parliament's accountability mechanisms. And whether it's this president or a president to come in the future, I think the ground is now being set for Parliament to exercise accountability without fear or favor over the executive.
Your late patron, Ahmed Kathrada, was an elder within the African National Congress, and these developments come as the African National Congress approaches their national conference. What sort of leadership do you think a role exists for the elders within the African National Congress at this time?
Well, I actually can't answer that question. I think that the ANC has evolved, its demographics, its membership has changed. And I think elders, you've seen the kind of role that former President Mbeki has played to former President Kgalema Motlanthe. And I think their wisdom, guidance is what hopefully will help the organization as it goes through this process. But there are also other elders who hold contrary views. So it's not as if there's one set of elders with one set of views from which the organization can draw the kind of guidance that it might need in a period of such great uncertainty. So I suppose it's which elders and which parts of the ANC would want to listen to particular views of particular elders. But I think elders have a responsibility to be square on the issues, as former President Mbeki has done, to raise them with all of the difficulties. And it would be for those who are in positions of authority and leadership to take that into account and to make decisions that are objective, and also not only decisions that are based, that would be of interest and benefit to the party, but must be of interest and benefit to wider society at all times.
Neeshan Balton, I imagine we'll be talking to you as society seeks to hear the voice of civic society. But thanks for making the time today. Neeshan Balton is with the Ahmed Kathrada Foundation.
Thank you.